I am Professor S. Krupanidhi, heading the Department of Biotechnology at VHDRU, at the University, located in a rural vicinity, Pattamudi, Guntur district, Andhra Pradesh. Myself and Dr. Mikkel Indira were giving a series of talks on immunology and immunoinformatics, of which currently we are handling hypersensitivity. Hypersensitive reactions, hypersensitivity. Okay, so this comes under Unit 4 of Immunology and Immunoinformatics. Hypersensitivity is misnomenclature. It is exaggerated term. Hyper means usually we use more sensitivity, but it is not the more sensitivity. The definition of this hypersensitivity goes that this is a tissue damaging immune response. Tissue damaging, not tissue protection. Of course, the damage leads to automatic protection. Tissue damaging immune response is called the hypersensitivity. As I said, hypersensitivity is unwanted sensitivity. So let us see how this unwanted sensitivity is there prevailing in our system. There is the hypersensitivity 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. 4 types of the reactions, even 5 types also are shown, but usually we are sticking to 4. Okay, let us see what are all those things.
In this video, I am going to discuss some basic things about hypersensitivity reactions. The name itself implies that it is an exaggerated reaction of our immune system. But you have to remember that all hypersensitivity reactions are not exaggerated. So, it's actually a misnomer. The real concept is any tissue damaging immune reaction in our body is called hypersensitivity reaction. Ranging from annoying but trivial discomforts such as itching of the skin to potentially fatal diseases such as bronchial asthma or anaphylaxis. All are hypersensitivity reactions. Hypersensitivity reaction can be elicited by exogenous environmental antigens like drug, dust, pollens, foods, microbes, and even various chemicals. Or it can be elicited by endogenous self-antigens. Now, types. Hypersensitivity reactions are classified into 4 types: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. The first 3 reactions involve antibody. That's why they are antibody mediated. But type 4 doesn't involve antibodies. It depends only on the cells. That's why it is called cell mediated hypersensitivity reactions. So first 3 reactions are antibody mediated. As they are all antibody mediated, let's see how they are different from each other. Let's start with the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. In type 1 hypersensitivity, the antigen is free antigen and also it is foreign antigen. And the antibodies involved are always IgE type, and these antibodies are fixed on mast cells and basophils. As you know that mast cells are present in the connective tissue, especially around the perivascular area, and basophils are present in the general circulation. So in type 1 hypersensitivity, the antibody is fixed and the antigen is free. Now let's come to the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Here antigen is always fixed and intrinsic to the tissue on which reaction occurs. For an example, if antigen present on the RBC, the reaction will occur on the RBC only. If it is present on the glomerular basement membrane, reaction will occur on the glomerular basement membrane only. So, in case of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, the antigen is free and foreign, but in case of type 2, it's just opposite. The antigen is fixed and intrinsic to our tissue. Here, antibodies involved are IgG and IgM type. They are free in the circulation, so they have to come to the target tissue for their reaction. So in type 1 hypersensitivity, the reaction always occurs on the mast cell, and in type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, it always occurs on target tissue. So in these 2 reactions, there is no antigen-antibody complex present in the general circulation. Now come to the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. Here antigens may be exogenous or endogenous, but they are free. And the antibodies involved here are IgG or IgM type, but they are also free. So unlike other two reactions, here both antigen and antibody both are free. So they react with each other and form immune complexes which circulate in our general circulation and get deposited in various tissue and eventually cause tissue damage. That's why type 3 hypersensitivity reaction is called immune complex mediated hypersensitivity reaction. Lastly, type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. The reaction is little bit different. They don't involve any antibodies. Some immune cells like antigen presenting cells, T cells are involved in this reaction. That's why type 4 hypersensitivity is called cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction. Now I would like to mention some important hypersensitivity reactions. Type 1 hypersensitivity reactions are anaphylaxis, allergies and bronchial asthma. And type 2 hypersensitivity reactions are autoimmune hemolytic anemia and Goodpasture syndrome. And some important type 3 hypersensitivity reactions are SLE, serum sickness, Arthur's reaction and some form of glomerulonephritis. And the examples of type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are contact dermatitis, multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes and tuberculosis.
Now we have seen a video wherein very decently explained type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 reactions. 1, 2, 3 are antibody mediated, type 4 are cell mediated. In this, type 1 is IgE mediated through mast cell. Type 2 is antigen and antibody mediated, and then type 3 is immune complex mediated. Type 4 is delayed type reaction. So like this 4 types have been explained. Let's see those details now. So now the objectives of this particular topic, hypersensitivity reactions, are to define the term hypersensitivity. Okay, hypersensitivity is the one which is causing tissue damaging immune response. Tissue damaging immune response. We also say here hypersensitivity is the one which we do not want, unwanted immune response. Okay, so that's what happening here. We see. Familiarize the types of the hypersensitivity. Now, the definition of the hypersensitivity we know that is an expected outcome of this particular topic. And then 4 types of hypersensitivity reactions and their hyperimmune responses. Hyperimmune responses are tissue damaging immune responses. That will be known. Okay. Now let us see one after the other these type of reactions. So here the type 1 hypersensitivity. Okay, so the type 1 hypersensitivity involves immunoglobulin E, IgE. That's what while explaining about the different isotypes of the immunoglobulins, you need to do IgG, IgD, IgM, IgA, and IgE. IgE is the one which is so least. We do not want, but nature has provided it. It is for allergic reactions, to fight the allergic reaction. So this is produced by the mast cell. Mast cell is there. Mast cell is prompted by IgE. So that's what shown here. This is what IgE. Here there is IgE is a class, and there is cross-link. This is what called cross-link. Okay, allergen cross-links this. Then this is called histamine. This intermediate is called histamine. Histamine is vasodilator. Okay, so that's what called here cytokines, and they cause inflammation. They cause the inflammation. So that's what about type 1 sensitivity reactions, which is being played by IgE in collaboration with mast cell by cross-linking to IgE epsilon receptors. As a result, histamine is released. Histamine causes vasodilation. Okay, so for which, if you are, this ultimately causes a particular disorder that is called anaphylactic. Anaphylactic means sudden immediate allergy reactions or sneezing. So now we'll go to the type 2 reactions. So So this is what the various things happening. Allergen comes to begin with. So allergen may be pollen or any dust that is allergen. Okay. So what is the difference between allergen and antigen? Antigen causes T cell mediated immune response. Immunogen, antigen, that's what we have been seeing all the time. This is the first time we are seeing allergen. Allergen never causes T cell mediated immune response. Allergen causes hypersensitive immune response. Allergen causes hypersensitive immune response. That's what the difference between allergen and antigen. Okay. So there is no question of T cell mediation here. So this allergen ultimately causes humoral immunity, B cell counting, and IgE secreting B cells, and IgE comes and rests on this fragment FC, fragment crystallizable epsilon receptor 1, fragment crystallizable epsilon receptor 1. On that it gets seated, IgE gets seated, and then it's allergen. This is what allergen. This cross links between the two epsilon receptors. Then immediately it gets activated. Mediators are released because vasodilation. So what are the problems? So here, because of this anaphylaxis will be what they call syndrome, and we have to take anti-IgE antibody for treatment, or we have to take antihistamine tablets for the treatment, or we have to take some corticosteroid drugs as treatment, or epinephrine hormone. Now let us see hypersensitivity 2, type 2 reactions. Okay, in the type 2 reactions, okay, so there is IgM and IgG are involved. So that is immunoglobulin mediated. Okay, so here as a result of this, there is a complement activation. So for this complement activation, typically leads to complement activation and opsonization. Opsonization means if you are having here a bacteria is having on its antigen. Okay, what is this called? Immunoglobulins will be formed all around the antigen. So this is called opsonization. Now the bacteria is encircled by the immunoglobulins. The immunoglobulins are having here FC3. That is what the fragment crystallizable 3 region. So this is also called constant H3, CH3 region. Okay, every cell is having the CH3 receptor. Okay, as a result, cells are recruited to the same. So because of this reaction, there is a test that's called HC50. That is hemolytic complement 50 testing. Usually doctors advise if you are having more of the complement activation and complement deficiency, doctors will advise this type of the test. C test, hemolytic complement. Okay, so in this now C1 to C9 complements deficiency or overexpression will be known. Usually these values are between 40 and 95 units per unit. If it is beyond this, there is some deficiency that we work out. So now that is about the type 2. So type 2 gives varieties of the diseases wherein autoimmune hemolytic anemia and good posture syndrome is again a syndrome which is working on the anti-glomerular basement membranes in the lungs and the kidney, and myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis is acetylcholine receptor. There is a pulse, impulse is coming, but muscle is not working. Okay, it takes time. So from the brain, the impulse comes, muscle doesn't work because the acetylcholine receptors are blocked. Okay, so like Graves' disease and Pernicious anemia. Now let us see the type 3. Type 3, that immune complex mediated. Immune complex means, let us say this is an antigen. Okay, antigen is being bound by immunoglobulins. Antigens is being bound by the immunoglobulins. So this is called an immune complex. The immune complex form such type of the diseases are there is type 3 happens. Type 3 happens. So immune complex mediated diseases are systemic lupus erythematosus. systemic lupus erythematosus. So this is a autoimmune disorder. Usually it is called SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, autoimmune disorder. That I have shown you earlier also. Like this post streptococcal glomerulonephritis. All these things cause kidney problems, nephritis, type 3 reaction. So for all that, if you are having these type of things, doctors will advise to HC50 whether complement activation is there or not. So now we are saying the last one called type 4 reactions. Type 4 reactions. So type 4 reaction is called T-cell mediated delay response. Okay. So now let us say CD4, CD8. We have been saying CD4, CD8. Here basically it is being done with the tuberculin test. Okay. So whenever if you go to the hospital, doctor do not know whether we have taken penicillin injection earlier or not. We too do not know whether we have taken penicillin injection earlier or not. As a result, doctor gives small drop of penicillin in the skin. So that's a sort of test. That's what delayed type reaction. Let us see now. So this is what the tuberculin skin test. So doctor gives a small portion here. So as a result, after 48 hours or 72 hours, you will see the what is it called, the depth, how much is expanded. So if it is expanded with that, it will be known we are already exposed to the tuberculosis disease. So that now we have given this type of the treatment, it is responding. That means memory T cells are there. They are responding. They are causing this type of information. Okay. So now let us see this summary. We have seen type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Type 1, 2, 3 are immunoglobulin mediated. Number 4, type 4 is cell mediated. Okay. So now let us see what is it called the summary. Type 1, hypersensitivity is called anaphylaxis, which means immediate allergy reactions. The immediate allergy reactions are being performed with a mast cell in association with IgE. Okay. So allergen is linked to IgE. So I told you what is allergen, what is antigen. Antigen causes T-mediated immune response, T-cell mediated immune response. Allergen causes hypersensitivity immune response. Okay. Now, the second one, type 2 hypersensitivity deals with antibody-mediated diseases. Okay. Type 3 hypersensitivity reactions deals with immune complex-mediated diseases. Particularly IgM is involved because IgM is tetramerase. And type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are uniquely called as delayed type hypersensitivity reactions, usually wherein the T cell is mediated, wherein the macrophage activation, cytokine mediation, and inflammation and target cell lysis, several things are happening with regard to the cell mediated hypersensitivity immune response. Here it is called type 4 delayed T cell immune response. That's what 48 hours or 72 hours we are getting the immune response. That's what it is shown in one of the slides. Define hypersensitivity, list the types of hypersensitivity, describe hypersensitivity reactions, distinguish between allergen and antigen, what is anaphylaxis. Okay, these are all the new terms with which we have to be familiar with the reactions, and explain delayed T cell immune responses. Okay, ultimately I wish to let you know that here hypersensitivity is tissue damaging immune response. Hypersensitivity is the one which we are unwanted immune response is one. Okay, it happens because once we get exposed to the allergen. So with this, let us sincerely acknowledge the resources, online resources and public domains that we are used for developing this content for teaching material. Thank you and all. Please go through the PPTs and all these things to get to know the more details about hypersensitivity. Thank you.